My name's Tim. I play guitar and am one of the primary songwriters in Underøath. I think everyone struggles with the same thing in different ways, but I think we all are trying to work out, at least as a band, the way we were raised and the way we were raised coming up in a more southern faith-based community, which then was the foundation of the band. And then fast forward 10 years, everyone grows up, has different conversations, reads different books, starts trying different things, believing different things or not believing at all. And I think, the angel on the front isn't necessarily or is unintentionally faith-based. It's more about the art and the image that it kind of pushes on you. And if we felt like it was striking, but I think the number one thing we're navigating is that, we have people that feel like they still can't always be honest, not with each other because we all know each other, but with people, and they want to honor what people expect of us, as well as honestly just don't want to be a disservice to anyone. But we definitely are in a different spot as a band now. We've made that abundantly clear, but it's interesting, and I would say that's the number one thing, is trying to figure out how to coexist with new ideas and new thoughts in a society where everyone can point back and say, but in this interview you said you were like this, so why are you deviating now?
Right.
And I feel like everyone's afraid of growth, everyone's afraid of change, and we're not now, finally, but I think a lot of that was part of it. And I think, lyrically, the record mainly focuses on Spencer and his battle with drugs, and Aaron and his battle with going through divorce. So there's a lot of erase me in that, because there's a specific thing that you're trying to wipe away or recover from. And I think we all have those individual things. But if I had to pick a global thing, our band's in a new, inspired place that doesn't feel shackled, but there is still that interesting dialogue of, but you were here and you can't ever not be perceived as that by whoever, Yeah, no, there is irony. Yeah, I think that was another serendipitous moment. I remember I came up with the name for the tour, and Randy, our manager, is like, yo, we can't put Rebirth as the tour name because you're gonna make people think you're really getting back together, and we're not. It's I know, but I think the name works, and I like the way it rolls off the tongue, and I think it's edgy and ominous enough to where people will jump to conclusions and think there's something bigger than what we're doing, which is just a little tour, but it's gonna give it just this dominant vibe. And so it was hilarious that 3 weeks into that tour, we were talking about actually getting back together, and we almost didn't call the tour that name because none of us thought we would ever get back together. And the whole thing was, we have to respect the fans and make sure that people know this is not Underøath coming back. This is just a 5-week tour celebrating our 2 records that did well 10 years ago, and that's it. And then we ended up just having those conversations, and the rest is history, and now we're here. Yeah, I think for us, that was one of the hardest tasks with Erase Me. Is we went in and we hadn't written a record with Aaron and this crew in 10 years. It's our first record in 8 years by the time it came out, and I feel like there is a certain amount of time that passes before you're allowed to just tear up the old expectations and just be what you are now. A lot of people do that with faith, with sexual orientation, with careers, and I was going here to be a lawyer, and then I went and did this, and I don't even know that old me, all those things, right? And it's I think everyone needs that time to go zoom out 35,000 feet and go, where do I really want to be? Because I've only just been right here, so that's all I know. And I think creatively we had to hit that spot where we knew we couldn't be who we were because we weren't those people anymore, but we didn't know what we are now. So the rule for the record internally was all of us were going to do our own writing, all of us had different visions of what the band should be, all of us want something different from this, similar to a marriage or a relationship of any kind, and we need to figure out how to make sure everyone here is happy and feels fulfilled. without sacrificing one person for someone else's happiness. So we threw it all in, and everything we did was considered a potential song until it wasn't. Where in the past, it had to be so good and in a certain lane with a certain feel and a certain brand. It had to be on brand or off brand. And it was like, there were all these ideas fighting just to get picked on the team to see if they could shoot a basketball. And with this one, we said, everyone's on the team. You know, this shitty song over here, and this stupid song over here, and this rip that has no song, and that dumb rock song that's never gonna make it, doesn't matter. Let's bring them all in, very inclusive, and let's actually work on them and think about them and let them all have a shot. And then we kind of started knocking them off the ledge, you know? And the cool thing about that is a few of the records that would have probably been cut had we been in our old space mentally were the ones that actually made it on the record. And there's old stuff that got cut but would have been a shoo-in for an Underoath record if we were trying to recreate what we did there, you know? I don't think we're ever going to achieve inclusion for anyone with music, but I think the biggest thing is certain dudes felt like, specifically Aaron and Spencer felt like I picked a path for the band and kind of made everyone get on the train. And when we got back to writing, they wanted to write by themselves without me there. And they wanted to kind of see where they wanted to go. And then me and Chris started writing together. We wanted to see where we wanted to go. And then I was doing stuff on my own. Chris was doing stuff on his own. And so we hit this really weird pocket where we had a theory that, you know, if we could figure out a way to include, you know, a country guy, which is Aaron, he has like a folk solo project, a radio rock guy like Spencer, and a weird, like, they call me whatever, arty, hipster, whatever, idiot. And then Chris, electronic, like movie scorer guy, right? We all have our dumb names we call each other, but it's like, if all of these things can coexist in a record, then like, that means there's an element of all of those different sects that people can connect to. You know, and yeah, is it country? No. Is it more rock-based? Of course, because we're a rock band. But I think everyone feels honored there. So I think, you know, lyrically, there was a lot of internal thought on, you know, do you say fuck? Do you not? Is that what you really want to say? What does that mean? How is that going to turn people on or off? And at some point we just had to go, you know what, like, this is not for a specific person, it's for everyone. So if someone doesn't like it, they don't have to, but we're just going to throw everything we want out there, honestly, and then if it connects, we're good. Thanks for supporting us, and yeah, this is awesome. Thank you so much. I gotta go.